Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sophie.
And I'm Gaynor.
And today we thought we'd do the top 10 cheapest cities to retire in the US.
Yeah.
Now, is anywhere that comes to mind? Because I know you'd like to retire to Vermont.
Yeah, I would like to retire to Vermont.
Yeah.
It's like so quaint and
It looks
pretty.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Very like nature.
But I don't think it's particularly cheap.
No, I wouldn't think it'd be one of the cheap
I'm not sure where would be good to... The thing is, when you retire, you need to retire to somewhere that there's interest that you want to do. So for me, I'd like to still be able to go to the theatre. Mm-hmm. I'd like to go cycling or walking and stuff like that to keep busy.
Active and
I'm not a beach person, so I don't need to be near the beach. I do like a lake, so I would maybe like a lake house where you can look out onto the lake. Maybe have a little rowing boat. Yeah, but... Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
very similar to what I'd want, to be honest.
And Darren needs to be able to walk to a bar, so we'd probably end up in the middle of New York or somewhere.
I'm sure if you go to like a little small town, though, there'll be like a bar.
And I think that's the thing, you've got to find the compromise, and as long as you can walk into... I mean, I would love to live... When you watch the Christmas movies, the Hallmark Christmas movies, I want to move to somewhere like
a little close knit town.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
I would love it where everybody knows everybody's business.
And other places, because over here, like I don't feel like you get that as much. Whereas in America, are the like what you literally see in the movies, like proper like little small close knit towns.
Yeah.
And
I think when I've watched a lot of the movies, I've kind of Googled to see where it is, and a lot of the places are actually in Canada. They use a lot of these small towns in Canada as well.
That's strange, isn't it? Like,
yeah. But have you ever watched that one where they do the switch, where it's Cameron Diaz? She goes to stay in the UK in a house. They do a house switch. Have you ever seen?
The Holiday?
Yeah.
With, what's she called off Titanic?
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet, yes.
So I love that movie.
I love that film.
I would love to do that. I would love to swap houses with somebody and go, they stay in my house and I stay in theirs.
You should do it.
Yeah.
Especially that, because like I'd love, and again it's literally the best of both worlds. You've got this like, really nice like mansion, and it's got all like your high-tech stuff, and then you can go to like a little cottage.
Yeah, with a white picket fence.
Yeah.
And a deer in the garden.
Little Bambi knocking about. Let's have a look anyway.
Hey, welcome back to the world according to Briggs. If this is your first time here, I'd just like to say, where you been? We've been doing this for almost 3 years, and you're just showing up now? Anyway, ever since I did the worst places to retire, I've been asked over and over to do a best place to retire in the United States. Some people consider the nicest place as the best place to retire, and those are normally the people that have a good amount of money saved up. The rest of us consider the least expensive place as the best place. So we'll be doing 2 videos, basically. The first one will be the cheapest city to retire. It'll be the cheapest yet decent place to live. I'm not telling anyone to move to Skid Row in Los Angeles or Hunts Point in New York. That would be extremely cheap, but also incredibly dangerous. We're not doing that to people. That would be wrong. I'd be filled with guilt thinking someone took my advice or my information and moved to one of these nasty places. Relatively safe and budget friendly is what we're looking for, like... Number 10, Lincoln, Nebraska. Nebraska is known for being an extremely boring state. Lincoln sort of breaks away from that stereotype. Maybe not break away. That sounds a little dramatic. Not as boring as the rest of the state. That's probably more fitting. You might be able to actually have some fun and entertainment in Lincoln. The capital city offers an abundance of attraction, including 130 parks, fine restaurants, what they say is an active nightlife. Maybe. Museums, theaters, they got all the standard stuff that a big city would have. The cost of living in Nebraska is one of the lowest in the nation. It's actually like 6% lower than the national average, so that's good. Lincoln, for being a bigger city by Nebraska standards, it's not that high either. If you're retired military and you retire in Nebraska, you have 2 choices. One, you can exempt 40% of your income from taxes for 7 years, or 15% for every year starting at age 65 till you die. The city is also a great place for aging residents when it comes to healthcare. They have 30 healthcare and social service facilities for every 1,000 seniors. That's far better than the US average, which is about 16 for every 1,000 retirees. Number 9, Morgantown, West Virginia. You know, I've been making videos about the United States for a while now, and I think this may be the first time Morgantown, West Virginia has made it onto a list. And it's for something positive. That's good news, Morgantown. Bravo. The good news...
See, that looks like a nice little town, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
You can walk and...
Try and get that. it's got to stay on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does. It looks lovely, that.
Yeah, you can imagine at Christmas time they've got all like the
little
twinkly
twinkly
lights.
Yes. And like it just looks like a nice little town where you've got a few bars, a few cafes, but it's not too like overly.
Yeah, the closest I've
dated.
seen living in New Jersey was Freehold Township. They had like a high street which was like that with lots of older homes, and also there was a place called Metuchen, and their high street was,
Oh, that's a cute
and
name.
their high street was very similar to that as well.
Yeah, it's lovely, that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I prefer the older buildings.
Yeah.
It just makes it look
Good
cute.
news, Morgantown. Bravo. The good news for retirees is West Virginia University is in Morgantown, and it offers a number of benefits for older Morgantown residents. If you're age 65 and up, they have a program that costs $30 for an annual membership that gets you access to interest groups, trips, social gatherings, program classes, local and international historical events, music, computers, and yoga classes. And it's on the campus of a university, so I imagine you could, make a wrong turn and find someplace that'll give you free beer. Cost of living for retirees is about 7% lower than the national average. About 10% of the population is above 65, so you got a lot of friends to mingle with. It also is about to get a lot cheaper. West Virginia tax on Social Security income is being phased out over a 3-year period. In 2020, 35% of your Social Security benefits will be exempt from taxes. State taxes, that is. The exemption will rise to 65% in 2021 and 100% in 2022. So that's good news. Number 8, Columbus, Ohio. One of the only cities in Ohio that isn't a punchline most of the time is Columbus, Ohio. And it's a great place to live retired, unless you hate the cold. The winters here can get a little rough. Housing is very affordable. The median home price in Columbus, the state capital by the way, is just under $160,000. Now that's compared to the national median price is about $229,000. Now that's according to Zillow for 2018. 2019 isn't complete yet, so we don't have those numbers. It's cheap, it's nice, and it's got things to do. It's home to Ohio State University, which always has some sort of activities for students and residents, especially retirees. This includes sporting events, concerts, and festivals. It also has a thing called Program 60, which invites Ohio residents age 60 and older to take university courses for free. Why don't they have that when you're 20? Save you some student loans. That would be terrific. Off campus, their downtown is really nice. It's got a nice mix of shops and restaurants and all that stuff. I was there probably around 2014 and watched a girl in a really skimpy little dress step off the curb coming out of a bar and slip in the mud and land flat on her back to where you hear that thud and you're just like, oh my God.
It's strange because like everything obviously looks very like new and fresh, like the green grass and but then the river looks like really brown.
Dirty, yeah. I was thinking the same.
Yeah, compared to like that blue pool. Yeah. It just like, it doesn't look the best.
It's like we've got a friend who is actually Declan's godfather. And we took him to Blackpool with us. Carmen, his name is. So if you're watching Carmen, hi. And we took him to Blackpool and he looked at the water and he went, why is your ocean brown?
It's literally like that.
It does, it looks like that. There's no nice blue seas, it's just dirty.
Yeah, it is. I remember being about 5 years old and being on Blackpool Beach and I always picked up little trinkets like feathers or shells. Like I just loved, I still do love stuff like that. And I picked up something and I was like, what's this, Mum? And it was a donkey's tooth.
No.
She was like, put that down right now. I was like, oh, because they have the donkeys, obviously, like up and down the beach, what you can pay to go on. But yeah, it wasn't great.
God, she's dead. She was okay, just embarrassed and had a big thing of mud going up her back. But still, it was, scary at first. Now it's hysterical, though. Anyway, 65 and above, that's about 10% of the population in Columbus. And the cost of living for retirees here is almost 8% below the national average. That's solid. Number 7, Des Moines, Iowa. Des Moines, Iowa, or how it's known by most of America, the city that fun forgot, is in the middle of America, and it's a little bit of a slow type of life. But if you want to take it easy and are looking to live in a big city for a small budget, Des Moines is a good choice. Affordability is just one of the reasons the state capital of Iowa is ranked 5th out of 100 large U.S. metro areas for successful aging. Can you be successful at aging? I mean, it just happens naturally. Is that success by achieving it? It's like being being successful at gaining weight on the jelly donut diet. It just happens naturally. I must be successful. Anyway, Des Moines also boasts a strong economy and plenty of healthcare facilities specializing in age-related services. Social Security benefits are not taxed in Iowa. That's a good thing. Now, the share of the population that's 65 and older is almost 12%, so that's a good amount of retirees and, senior citizens living in Des Moines. The cost of living here is 9.4% lower than the national average. That's a good number. But if you're a retiree, you move there, you won't lack things to do if you like it calm. There's numerous museums, art venues, including an outdoor sculpture park, a zoo, a botanical garden. There's even a casino and racetrack in nearby Altoona. You can't go wrong. They have zebra races once a year. There's no wagering on those, keep that in mind. That's just an exhibition. Number 6, Cheyenne, Wyoming. Like most people that have ever visited Wyoming, I love it. And if you're an angry old man that, let's say, has alienated himself from everyone you know, including family, and now you want to be a hermit, Cheyenne, Wyoming may be for you. It has a population of 583,000 people. That's about 6 people per square mile. In comparison, Los Angeles has about 7,000 people per square mile. 6 per square mile versus 7,000. New York's even worse. So not that many people to bother you. But if you wanted to live in a Western style city, saddle up, old timer, and head to Cheyenne. If you like trains, they have a lot of train things to do. There always seems to be a rodeo in the near future. 15% of the residents in Cheyenne are over 65. So that's plus. A lot of friends to hang out with. Unless you're that old man that doesn't like people. Then, you just stare at the old people as they walk by and have a good time. Cost of living for retirees is almost 9% below the national average. Wyoming has no state income tax, and Social Security benefits aren't taxed either. So win-win.
That's really good.
Number 5, Augusta, Georgia. If you're retired, chances are you golf. That's just what retirees do. They golf. If you're one of those types of retirees, you already know about Augusta, Georgia. Augusta is home to the Masters tournament and also the most successful amateur golfer ever to compete in a national or international level. Founder and designer of Augusta National Golf Club and co-founder of the Masters tournament, Bobby Jones. He was born in Atlanta but moved to Augusta. Great golfer, amazing. I read one of his biographies some years back, and the guy was a total frickin' Boy Scout when it came to the rules. He once gave himself a penalty in a major tournament because he was warming up, got too close to the ball, and just moved it a hair. He saw it, nobody else did, and he demanded his penalty. They didn't want to give it to him, but he actually refused to play on if they didn't give him the penalty. It was only fair. They gave him the penalty, and he ended up losing the tournament by 1 stroke. So the penalty cost him, but that's the way he lived his life. Anyway, back to Augusta. With a low cost of living and generous tax breaks for seniors, Georgia ranks 3rd among the best states for retirement. You can already enjoy running, walking, biking along Augusta and the canals and kayaking, the Savannah River. They got it all. Augusta University, along with a couple other schools, it's a nice college town. The university supplies the region with quality healthcare, including 3 hospitals and numerous specialists focusing on oncology and geriatrics. So win-win if you're a retiree. Taxpayers 65 or older can exclude up to $65,000 of their retirement income. Social Security benefits are not taxed. 13% of the population in Augusta is 65 or older. The cost of living for retirees is 9.5% below the national average. Nice place to live. Number 4, Green Bay, Wisconsin. If you can stand one of the coldest winters in the country, or maybe you're like me and you're a little twisted and just love the cold weather, Green Bay is waiting for you. And they have the Packers, so that's a win-win for anyone. The state's tax situation isn't ideal, but the low cost of living is amazing. Green Bay is extremely affordable. With a well below average cost for retirees across all spending categories, it makes Green Bay a seriously nice option. Housing for retirees is about 20% below the national average. Median home price in Green Bay is about $145,000. That's compared to $229,000 for the U.S., and that's according to Zillow. Social Security benefits are not taxed. If you are a beer drinker, good news. So is everyone else in Green Bay. Like, they drink a lot of beer. Almost enough to make my cousin's ex-wife an option. Anyway, 12.3% of the population of Green Bay is over the age of 65, and like I said, the cost of living here for retirees is about 10% below the national average. Go Green Bay. Number 3, Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Fort Wayne metro area is very affordable, and I'm not just talking about housing and taxes. Things to do are very inexpensive in this city. Fort Wayne is loaded with quiet neighborhoods and also has a great art scene and hosts a number of festivals and events throughout the year, including the family-friendly Three Rivers Festival in the summer. They have 3 rivers that flow through the city that are pretty much the main feature of the entire area. Canoeing, kayaking, and cruising are always a thing in Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne has more than 80 parks and 100 miles of hiking and biking trails, so there's things to do. You can get out and put some mileage on that new hip. They don't tax Social Security in Indiana, so that's a plus, and they give veterans some tax breaks on retirement in Indiana, so again, really good. 13.5% of the residents in Fort Wayne are above the age of 65 or above, I should say. The cost of living for retirees is almost 12% below the national average, so that's some savings. Number 2, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Arkansas is on a positive list. See, miracles do happen. But we're talking about the Fayetteville area, which isn't really like the rest of Arkansas. It's almost a different state. Actually, it's almost 2 different countries. Fayetteville is a place of higher learning with the University of Arkansas in the city, and the rest of Arkansas doesn't go for that reading stuff. The metro area of Fayetteville, which includes Springdale, Rogers, and Bentonville, offers low costs and plenty of attractions. It's really cheap to live here. You got the surrounding Ozark Mountains, gives residents outdoor recreation and a natural landscape, which you could never go wrong with. The downtown area is really nice. It's a really nice college town. Like I said, University of Arkansas is right here. The Walton Art Center is something you'll want to visit when you move there, if you visit there, whatever you do. This is a very safe city as far as cities go. I know there's always someone that wants to say, no, there's crime. No, compared to other cities like Chicago, New York, Detroit, places, Miami, places like that, Fayetteville is really, really safe. And the residents take pride in their community. It's really neat. Now, Social Security, again, isn't taxed in the state of Arkansas. Military retirement and railroad retirement are fully exempt from taxes, too. That's good. 11% of the residents are 65 or older in Fayetteville, and the cost of living for retirees is almost 16% lower than the national average. Not bad.
Yeah.
And number 1, Knoxville, Tennessee. This is another city I don't think we've ever talked about on any of my videos. Memphis, Tennessee, of course we have, because the place sucks and it's dangerous. I know we've talked about Nashville a couple times, and there's a strange amount of dudes with really big sideburns. I still don't understand that. Anyway, the volunteer state ranks best in the nation.
What was this on? Because you know that thing there, that microphone.
Yeah, so it was
was it most dangerous?
It was the top.
Because I'm sure he's just said something about it being dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was it the top 10 best places to live?
I can't remember. Please let us know in the comments if you remember which video it was on.
Yeah, but we seen like the microphone one, didn't we?
Yeah, because I remember Aiden said, oh, it's like a microphone, and he said, oh, it's a microphone.
I think it might have been the top 10 places, best places to live.
Best places.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense
because I don't
if
remember
it's
it
cheap
being Knoxville unless it just said Tennessee.
Yeah. It might have been states.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it might have been actually.
Yeah.
Just look really familiar.
For retirement on a budget. But really, it's a good choice for retirees with any size nest egg. On top of its friendly tax status, most of the state has a below average cost of living for retired residents. Knoxville is very affordable for retirees, and if you compare to Nashville, where the cost of living for retired folks is about the national average, it's well below that in Knoxville. Anyway, housing costs for retirees in Knoxville are the biggest factor in bringing down costs. At nearly 30% below the national average, the median home price is about $170,000 versus $262,000 in Nashville. And of course, like we talked about before, $229,000 for the rest of the country, the average. Knoxville has more than enough things to keep you busy in retirement, or even if you're not in retirement. When it comes to taxes, they don't tax your Social Security like other states, and they have a buttload of tax programs for seniors, veterans, and especially disabled veterans. Almost 14% of the residents in Knoxville are 65 or older, and the cost of living for retirees is almost 18% below the national average. Knoxville is probably the best choice for just about anyone looking to retire. Alright, so that's my top 10 cheapest place to retire for 2020. So it's 2019 right now, but 2020, you get the idea. Hope you guys got some information on it. I hope this helps someone. You know, take what I give you here. You know, I'm just brushing over everything, and do your research. Hopefully this will give you what you need to, you know, find what you need to do. Anyway, don't forget all the links below.
Well, that's some options.
Where do you think on that list you'd retire to out of the 10?
Augusta looks nice. I liked the look of Augusta.
Yeah.
That Knoxville didn't appeal to me. It didn't. It looked a bit.
No, it didn't to me, to be honest.
You know, it might be the cheapest or the best place, but
yeah,
you still got, you know.
If you just don't get the vibe, then there's, you know,
no. I didn't get the vibe. I think I would still like to be somewhere that's got quite a lot going on, but you can retreat back to, you know.
Yeah. Whereas the one in Wyoming was that looked beautiful.
It did, yeah.
Was that it?
That's West Virginia.
Oh, was it West Virginia? Maybe the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. Was it West Virginia?
Cheyenne looks nice. Yeah, that looks lovely.
Yeah, it looked quite remote, but then it still has like your city life as well.
Yeah.
Or to me personally, Fayetteville, because I saw a bookstore.
Right.
So I could get all my books. Yeah. I don't need anything else. Just a bookstore.
Where I live, when I walk into the village, there's like a little cobbled streets that you can go down, and there's a hairdresser's there it's just one guy, and then there's a bookstore that you can go in and you can just flick through it, and then next to it there's like a knick-knack shop with like you know, you can buy like tea cozies and it's
little coasters and tea
all stuff like that, and it's just like one little cobbled street but in the middle of the main village.
Right. Yeah. And you have to show me where it is, because
And there's a restaurant there called Number 4, and it's probably got about 8 tables in there. It's like being in somebody's front room.
If it only had 4 tables.
Yeah. And it's just like really quaint, and you know, it's just traditional really British food. And...
See, I like places like that more, like, because obviously, like when I was younger, we never went abroad on holiday. It was always just like to like little towns
Devon
everywhere.
And Cornwall and stuff.
Yeah, well, we never got as far down as Cornwall. We went to Devon loads of times, but we just never did the extra little bit. But we went like Hastings, Essex. We've been like all over like more like up north and Wales, and I love just like the little seaside towns, because you always get like those little cobbled streets and like the independent shops.
Yeah, I love independent shops.
Love it, like little trinket shops. And it's nice to support small businesses as well, isn't it?
That's why I go into the village, because they have there's like 3 butchers there. There's the fishmonger, there's the cheese shop. They have this amazing
cheese shop?
They have an amazing cheese shop. And when you go in, there's just like loads of different cheeses. And you can go in and you can say, like, I'm having people over, can you recommend some cheeses? And they have the crackers and everything there, and olives. And
can you, they let you like taste it?
Yeah, it's amazing, yeah.
I'll need to go.
Yeah, I'll take you. We'll have a girls' day. Somebody said you should have a girls' day. Did you see it?
Some wine and cheese. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed the video as much as we did. And you can tell us where you think the best place to retire in the US is.
Absolutely.
And if you've not liked and subscribed, please do that and hit the bell so you know when us girls are on. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.